How's everybody today? I'm fine, because how could you not be? Isn't it beautiful outside? It's gorgeous. I love these little books. And this one is called Jesus Walks on the Water. So can everybody see? Okay. I like this story. Bill and I got to go on the Sea of Galilee. I don't know why it's called a sea. It's just a huge big lake. But it is beautiful. And water reflects whatever is above it. So when we were there, the sun was shining, and so the sea was just a beautiful blue. Now, what do you think happens when it gets stormy and the clouds are moving and it's gray? What color would the water be then?
Probably gray.
It'd probably be gray and look awful, right? So remember that when you read the story. See all these people? That was when Jesus was up on the mount, and he was fed all the people with fish and loaves of bread, remember? When the little boy brought them? And the day was almost through when Jesus spoke to those close by and said, "Here's what to do. Go climb into your boat right now and row out onto the lake. Continue on to the other shore, and I'll follow soon. Don't wait on me, okay?" And even though some wasn't so sure that Jesus was God's son, the wise apostles soon obeyed, and quickly they were gone. See their little boat out here going? Alone at last, Jesus the Savior paused and looked up to the trees. He whispered low, "I'm coming now, dear God, to talk with thee." So Jesus climbed up in the hills and talked to God in prayer. As night grew dark and alone with God, he spoke of all of his cares. You know, if Jesus needed to pray, we should too, shouldn't we? Yeah. Okay. But meanwhile, out on the lake, a fierce and wind storm blew. The winds blew strong and lightning flashed and waves grew higher too. A huge wave crashed and the wild winds tossed the wet disciples' boat. "Please help us, God," they prayed aloud. "Help keep us afloat." Look at them. How many of you can swim? Everybody can swim? Well, he will too, right? Well, I don't swim so good, so I would have been terrified. But it'd be hard to swim in those, wouldn't it? In the waves. The men crouched down inside the boat. "What shall we do?" they cried. "If no one comes to rescue us, we're surely going to drown and die." Then suddenly a frightful sight stood out among the waves. "It's a ghost!" they screamed, and the wild wind howled, and they shouted, "Go away!" If you was out on the waves like this and somebody might come walking up to you, what would you think? I'd be scared, wouldn't you? And they were too. But Jesus calmly called to them and said, "Don't be afraid. I'm the one who stands right here. I'll rescue you today." Then Peter yelled out from the boat, "Sir, if it's really you, just tell me to come on over there and I'll walk on water too." "All right then," Jesus answered him. "Here, come along with me." So Peter climbed out of the boat and stood upon the sea. Now that would scare me probably more. He took one step and then one more. He walked on water too. But as he walked and looked around, the fear inside of him grew. The high waves splashed above his head, and Peter felt afraid. Right then and there, his feet began to sink. "Please help me, Lord," he prayed. So Jesus grabbed his hand before he sank beneath the waves. Then Jesus asked, "Why did you doubt, O man of little faith?" And they walked together to the boat and climbed in with the men. And instantly the storm died down and the sea grew calm again. His helpers looked at him with joy, amazed at what he'd done. With awe-filled voices, they all cried, "Really, you are God's Son." You know, the Bible tells us that it took things like them for them to believe. But you and I can believe that Jesus really is the Son of God without having to see all those things. So greater is our faith than theirs even, because they had to see something miraculous before they believed. But we believe, don't we? We do. You guys have a wonderful week.